Here in Columbus, Ohio, it's time to begin the final pose down for the title of this year's Mr. Olympia. The moment the audience has been waiting for.
And so you really have to be so good that the contrast is very evident. And that's always the point. And so I would do things to distinguish myself from the pack. I wouldn't be in the gym training when everybody else was there. As a matter of fact, I would disappear the last month. Nobody knew where I was. I would never show up in a public place. And I was always under wraps.
Why?
Well, you know, it's like the great unveil. The whole thing about it is you have to shock people. The unveiling should be exactly that. They should be astonished. The way you do that is you don't give it away ahead of time. Posing in public and everything, and everybody sees you, then they know what to expect. I learned the secret of winning. The secret of winning is to win it ahead of time. You believe you're the winner, and you act like the winner. You don't flaunt it.
Okay, the first contestant.
Well, it's like a shock when I came out. People didn't. It was like, I wanted to shock people, because that's what you had to do.
There was a time when you were at the top of the heap where there was debate as to like what a bodybuilder should look like. There was like the Frank Zane look.
I'd been told my whole career I'd need to get bigger. You know, it really wasn't about that so much. It was basically being more complete for me than anything else. More definition and being more complete, having everything developed.
And also the early years I spent training with Arnold and Franco at Gold's Gym, and the camaraderie we had at competitions in the early 70s, and I think of those days with just great emotion.
All those days are gone. Yeah. I'm hoping I did enough during that time.
Picture this big of you. The only photo I had in my gym was of Frank Zane. Yeah, black and white, classic.
Might have been not as massive as some of the other bodybuilders, but Zane was always in shape.
Frank Zane's aesthetics were truly otherworldly, setting him apart in the realm of bodybuilding. His physique was a masterpiece, meticulously sculpted to perfection. Every contour, every muscle, seemed to be chiseled with an artist's precision. Zane's attention to detail was unparalleled, giving his body a polished finish that was unmatched by any of his contemporaries. His proportions were harmonious, each muscle group complementing the others in a symphony of physical beauty. Zane's dedication to achieving this level of refinement in his physique elevated him to legendary status, him a beacon of inspiration for aspiring bodybuilders and a timeless icon in the world of fitness and aesthetics.
I couldn't take any more of these people, has-beens who never were, telling me what I should look like. That doesn't make any sense. And you know, that's not what I want to look like anyway, these people are telling me. Joe Weider always said, oh, you got to get bigger. No, that's not for me. That's not my strong. That's not how I'll do it, how I'll win. Finally, when I did it the way I wanted to, I got the look I want. That's really what I like. Great exercise, nobody does it.
Nobody.
I never saw anybody doing these at Gold's Gym. Nobody, except me.
An exercise like that, if it's performed today, you know what they would say? Ooh, you do that once, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Maybe they would. That's not me.
Pound for pound, maybe one of the best bodybuilders ever. He was the first guy to come into a competition absolutely shred.
But who cares anyway, you know? I was never concerned about what people said.
But anything was possible. I mean, you could sense and feel the energy in the gym. It was just amazing. When I walked in Gold's Gym, it was like, wow, this is heaven on earth. Frank Zane would do one set of sit-ups for an hour. I'm like, wow, where are these guys from? I'm like a teenager, a muscle guy. This is a different planet. I go, I have to do what Zane does. I have to do that. And he was different.
It's kinetic sculpture. You know, I mean, look at the sculptures from ancient Greece, Rome. I mean, magnificent.
This can't be. I once was considered like the unbeatable guy, and now I said Frank Zane won.
He had the ultimate sleeper build. He could wear regular-sized clothes, and you'd never know what was lurking under there. The godly muscles he'd reveal only once a year.
I don't want to be seen until the last second. I learned this from Frank Zane. Frank, one of the early 80s shell contests, Frank had a private trailer in the back of the Columbus Auditorium. He had a sound system hooked up, and you didn't see him until the last second. When they announced Frank Zane, all of a sudden he appeared backstage and walked on stage immediately. He never gave energy away to anybody. I learned that from him.
Frank Zane, these are the biggest legends in this sport.
Until now, what has been your most memorable moment that you've...
Well, I think winning the Mr. Olympia those 3 times, 77, 78, and 79 were the most memorable occasions. Oh yeah, after all these years, it's really great to win what I've been after for so long.
How many years have you been training?
Well, I've been training 21 years.